Okay, we just heard from President Obama in Tampa. I want to talk to you about what he said. I also want to bring in Jeanne Simons. Jeanne Simons is a Phoenix school teacher. She's a single mother of 2 children. She was not referred to by name, but she was referred to by President Obama in the State of the Union address last night. And of course, on the left of your screen is our political editor, Mark Preston. Mark, you listened to the speech in great detail last night. Poor Jeanne didn't, because everybody was calling her, trying to figure out if it was her that the president was talking about, and indeed it was. I was one of those people who was calling her. Jeanne, you met with the vice president last week. You thought you might lose your job. Tell us your story very quickly.
Well, I graduated in 2008 and accepted a position with Teach for America, which is an organization that sends people to low-income schools in inner cities to teach for 2 years. And so I was coming up to the end of my first year with that program, and my principal came to me, and about 2 months before school had ended, and she said, "Your job isn't going to be saved." So it was going to be cut. And after that point, I was obviously very concerned. I knew that I had the safety net of Teach for America to be able to help me, but I still didn't know if I would be coming back. And my first thought was thinking about my students and how would they find me and know which classroom I was teaching at somewhere in the valley if it wasn't the same one that they had attended.
And then you found out your job was saved.
Yeah, about a week before, I guess, the school year ended, she called me back into her office and told me that my job was saved because of stimulus money.
Mark, the president had made it very clear last night in his speech. His advisors, his surrogates have been out there, and again he said it today, that there are jobs that have been saved and jobs that have been created because of stimulus. Still, he's having a hard time getting traction on that, because most people see jobs lost in America over the last years and are wondering how that $800 billion plus has helped the economy.
Yeah, Ali, who knows it better than you? I mean, you've been following this for the last 2 years when you and I went across country and really met with real people who were starting to lose their jobs. But look, once the stimulus bill passed, people expected jobs immediately, and in fact, we saw unemployment rise, and we're at 10% right now. Now, Jeanne is one of the success stories. If you talk to critics, if you talk to specifically Republican critics, they'll say that it was ill-advised to spend all that money, that, in fact, the biggest problem right now is the debt and the fact that the government is getting involved in all these bailouts. It's really stymieing private enterprise. So, thankfully that Jeanne was able to save her job. But, critics will say that, perhaps that money was spent unwisely.
Interesting point. Jeanne, you and I talked last night, putting aside the fact that you're pleased that your job was saved, you actually told me that you sort of think back to the Great Depression and money that was spent on infrastructure, and you feel that it is important, that education is really somewhere where that money should be spent.
Absolutely. We need to build our intellectual infrastructure just like we need to build our economic and physical infrastructure. And I see it every day in my classroom. Some of the shortcomings within our public education system, if we don't work on this, and I'm grateful that this administration was able to create more jobs for education. If we don't work on this, we don't really have a future as a nation.
Mark, you get some sense, comparing last night's speech to this town hall today, do you get some sense that the president is in a groove in this new direction that he's going in terms of trying to convince people that he's going to stick to helping out the middle class and going to be more disciplined about government spending?
Sure. I mean, and he has to be, because we're heading into a midterm election. But, Ali, just listening to that speech today, it reminded me of a campaign event. I mean, he was very aggressive in defending what his administration has done. He did not mention the Bush administration by name, but he talked about the lost decade, and he said that we're on the right track. Things won't go as fast as some people hope, but it really seemed to have a campaign feel to me, as not only did he deliver that speech, but when he took the questions.
Mark, good to talk to you as always. You've been sticking with us through all of these developments, and of course we'll see a lot more of you through the course of the campaign. Our CNN political editor, Mark Preston, and Jeanne Simons, good to talk to you again after speaking to you last night. We're glad that you still have your job, and we look forward to following your career. Good luck.
Thank you.